Even though a lot of people have been working maybe differently, but certainly as hard and with a different kind of intensity to having to deal with different challenges than they normally would when they're at work during this period, there's no denying that it's been a change. And it's been a lengthy change. It's not over yet. We're just over 3 months into the lockdown, and they're starting to reduce some of the measures, but we don't know exactly that we're on some kind of linear path back to normality at this point. And we certainly don't know when we're going to hit quote unquote normality, i.e. the way things were before the coronavirus lockdown. And because it's actually been quite a long time, this wouldn't be the case if it had just been a week or two. But because it's been such a long time and we're still in this sort of transition-y feeling period, it presents a kind of opportunity which we should not throw away. So all of those thoughts and ideas that you've had in your job and in your life about how you would like things to be, how you wish things were, and what could be done better, and all the questions you've had, people are going to tell you that now is the wrong time to ask those questions because of all the chaos that's going on. You should ignore those people. Now is the time to ask those questions, because at the moment there is the impetus and the opportunity for change. Change on a personal level, how we do things, how we think and feel about things, the life that we set up for ourselves, but also change on a much broader scale, certainly on an organizational level. And if you think for a minute that your school or your organization, wherever it is that you work, if you think for a moment that now's not the right time because your situation is somehow unique, you're making an excuse. And that's fine. Maybe for you personally, I'm going to take that back. Maybe for you personally, because I don't know what your circumstances are. Maybe for you personally, things are too chaotic right now to push through like another set of changes. But it's not true for your organization. Like, people will tell you it's true. People will say, with all the other stuff going on right now, this isn't the time to. It's like, no, this is exactly the time. We're already making big changes. This is the perfect time this is the time for experimentation. When you go to do these things, I think it's important to present solutions, not problems. State the challenge. Absolutely state the challenge. And if you don't have ideas for solutions, that's fine. Say that as well. But definitely try and figure out what a solution would look and feel like. So even if you don't know the exact mechanics of the solution, how would you know that whatever the solution was had worked? How would things be different? What would that situation, that thing look like? How would activities be better? How would you feel differently? At least fix the end point. You know where you are. You know where you were pre-COVID-19. You know where you have a reasonable idea where you are now, although maybe that's a bit confusing. But what you can fix on is where you want to be. Yeah. And just regard this period as a period of change, a transition period. If you want your voice to be heard, and we want your voice to be heard, then you're going to have to stand up, and the time to do it, to get something changed, is now. It's absolutely the right time. We've seen individual schools, heads, turning around and saying no to the government about when they were told they were supposed to reopen. They looked at it and they said, this is inappropriate, we will not do it. So well done to those heads. Well done to the heads that figured out what they could do, which is all of you. Well done. Well done to any, I'm not aware of any, but if anybody was somehow able to figure out a way to get the children that the government asked back, like, well done to you. This is not about like some kind of weird blame thing or what the right thing to do. Every situation was different, and it seems like schools and heads and governors and all the rest of it responded to that. Here's another bit of good news. Some local authorities said no. The local authority said no. They stood with teachers and they stood with head teachers and parents and said no, this is not appropriate. And then there's more good news, like a layer up from that, isn't there? There were plenty of politicians. MPs stood up and said, nope, this is not how we should be doing this. So you actually had support, maybe for the first time in a while. Now that we know that support is there, what do we need to do to make the case for the things that we think are important beyond COVID-19? This is for you first and foremost. And anything that benefits you, benefits your students, benefits the community. Anything that benefits you, benefits your students, benefits the future workforce and the economy. You're central. We need to look after you. You need to look after you. No one, however, is going to do it for you, because everybody has their own stuff going on. So you can have change, you can have the things that you want in your working life and your personal life. You can have balance, but you are going to have to do something about it. And my suggestion is to get clear, really clear, about what it is that you want in your life. It's not to do with the kids. This is what you personally want for your life. And then expand it out. See who getting those things would benefit your family, all the rest of it. Then look at how the kids would benefit, more energy, all that stuff.